Welcome, everyone, to the City of Lost Time. This is a 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons adventure presented to you by Kat Kruger. Before we introduce all of the lovely people here at the table, we just wanted to give a quick thank you so much to our sponsors, Frivolous Bear Studios and Hero Forge. Please check them out. Without them, this would not be possible. Happy AAPI month. And we're going to go around and introduce everyone at the table now. So please tell me who you are, where we can find you, and tell us about your character. And we'll start with Brian.
Hello. Hello, I'm Brian. You can find me at Twitter X as Clonus13. I do have a link tree to a bunch of other socials that are all different names because I started all that stuff before branding was a thing. So I'll be playing Tufo Bristlestep. He is a squirrel folk person, a very small squirrel folk person, with black fur on the back and the outside, and his underbelly is a sunburst orange, very bright. He is an arcane trickster rogue with the Outlander background. So he'll be foraging for everybody, feeding everybody every night. And he's a very curious and sneaky little boy.
Excellent.
Yes, that's a buddy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He also has a familiar with a Kodama, which we're reskinning from the Chewinga. I think that's how you pronounce it. So we'll see how that goes. I may or may not be abusing his abilities.
I brought that on myself.
Excellent. Thank you so very much. We'll pop on over to Jasmine.
Hi, I'm Jasmine. She, her. I am on socials. Twitter, L _Jasmine, and I'm FlaxerJ everywhere else. And I stream on Twitch as well, and I'm currently playing Fallout New Vegas. If the game doesn't crash. And oh yeah, I play Cade. She is a Aasimar paladin, Oath of the Watchers, and she's young and very dedicated to her mission to protect the forest. So yeah.
Excellent. Thank you very much. We'll pop on over to Carrie. Hi.
Hello. Hi, I'm Carrie. You can find me at Miscellanea everywhere. Instagram, Twitter, Be Real. Also on Twitch. I periodically stream on Twitch, like a little bit. So tonight I will be playing Kiro, a minor dragon, a reskinned kobold, who is a way of mercy monk that serves at the local temple. They are forgiving and optimistic to a fault, and it is a trait that has caused them to both lose everything and gain everything in their lifetime. I'm excited to play them.
Thank you. We'll pop on over to Jilly. Hi.
Hello, my name is Jilly, and you can find me most places on the internet as Oh Look It's Jilly. I do a lot of talking about writing and editing. I'm primarily a freelance editor, and help people make their words and wrangle them and such. I also play a lot of TTRPGs and do a lot of classical theater, and I'm currently learning sign language. So all of those are things that I talk about on the internet. Today I am playing Cordelia, who is a fathomless fairy warlock, which is really fun to say 5 times fast. I'm a newcomer to this plane, and I think their pronouns are she, they. My pronouns are she, her, which is on the magical screen that Stella has created. But I also have 3 Soot Sprite familiars whose names are Sooty, Sweep, and Sue, which if you live or grew up in the UK, you will find funny. If not, you'll just think, hey, those are weird names, and you will be correct. So I have Soot Sprites. I'm living my best life, is what we've learned from this.
Thank you so much. They are very cute names. You chose very well. And last but certainly not least, our game master for the evening, Kat Kruger.
Hi there. I am Kat Kruger. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm a freelance game designer and author. You can find me on Steampunk Unicorn Studio. That's also my Twitch handle. And yeah, I'm going to be playing a whole lot of NPCs, I think. So we're actually I'm running a game that I wrote for the Eyes Unclouded anthology. If you're familiar with it, it is sort of inspired by the works of Studio Ghibli, and this one in particular is inspired by Princess Mononoke, which is one of my favorites. So I guess without further ado, you're all connected in some way. One of the fun things about doing this one shot and preparing for it was you all got to, create these connections with each other. And I think we're going to start by, talking, I think Kiro, because you are at the temple and it's sort of like the home to so many people. Do you want to talk about the temple itself? And how you met some of the other characters.
Yes, I would like to do that. Do you want me to start from the beginning of when Kiro actually got to the temple, or just start from what, where we started from?
Let's maybe where we start from.
Okay, sure. So Kiro serves at the local temple in the town that we are in. And just doing regular old maintenance stuff and meeting with people and arranging like safe passage through the forest, helping to arrange that. And in doing so, met Cade, the paladin, who is forest protector, as we have learned. And one day, Kiro was restocking the temple stores and found a little squirrel folk in there stealing stuff. But you know what? It's food. It's fine. And in that kindness, Tufo, the squirrel folk, returned, and we kind of became friends and stuff. And then, do you want me to just do everything, everybody?
Well, I think what I'm going to say is, that is how you met two of the other characters. And at some point, you have always, been at this temple for a very long time. You have always seen a temple goer by the name of Mariko coming to the temple every once in a while. Sort of a cheerful older woman. But in later in years, it seems like she's been very wistful. And you recently come to learn that she has actually passed away. In her last will, she has asked for her ashes to be returned to her home in the remote village of Amori. This is a tiny blip on the map. It's a tiny, tiny little remote village that you've never been to, but she would like her ashes to be turned in there, returned to whatever remaining family she has there. At the same time, when you are tasked with doing so, you meet Cordelia. Cordelia, do you want to describe how you come to the temple and how you proceed in your
Yes,
mission?
I think Cordelia flies everywhere. And generally, because she's considerate, hovers at about head height for whoever she's currently interacting with, but it's also very small. Like, I know fairies in D&D are small, but pretty small is all I'm saying. So I think there's kind of a throat clearing and a
Oh, hello.
Hello, I was wondering if you'd seen my soot sprites. They seem to have wandered off. Well, they don't so much wander as they kind of tumble. They're sort of like, um,
I have not seen any soot sprites. However, I'm happy to help you find them.
wonderful. You see, we need to get going to Amore. This is where, I'm not sure if you're familiar. I've been sent there, and, this planet is quite difficult to navigate. I understand that my soot sprites have made some friends with some other local familiars, so perhaps that is where we will find. But anyway, I do really need to be going. This is lovely.
Well, you say Amore.
Yes.
My companions and I are actually going to be leaving for Amore fairly recently.
Oh, that's wonderful news. I have found conversation about it confusing because there was a song and it described it as the moon and something about pizza pie, and that did not seem to be consistent with my boss's description of the place.
Well,
But
why don't you come with me and and one of my companions has a familiar, so perhaps it's the same familiar.
Sweet likes to make friends, you see.
Sweet. Cute.
You'll be able to tell him from the others. He's the more gregarious one.
Okay, all right. And then Kiro will motion for his little fairy to come along and lead her to, we'll say, the restocking room. We'll go back to the restocking room where hopefully Tufo and Cade are, where they left them to stock for this trip.
One for you, one for me, one for you, two for me. Oh, hey, Kiro, what's up?
Tufo, well, this is Cordelia, you said.
Oh, I think we've met. Sooty told me that you have a friend.
Oh, you must be talking about Cody.
Yes, Cody.
Yeah, we've hung out a few times. Yeah, you got the three little guys.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, they're pretty fun. They're pretty cool guys.
Oh, so you have met.
They are deeply spiritual and useful and also real cute.
Definitely cute.
Well, I'm Kiro, by the way. Like a little live hand comes out of their white robes. They also have a little hood on.
I'm Cade. Nice to meet you.
And I'm Tufo.
My name is Cordelia. And of course you met Sooty Sprite and Sooty, Sweep, and Sue. I understand we're going on a journey, or you seem to be traveling the way that I'm traveling, and so rather than do that awkward thing where we kind of walk the same direction at the same time for the same amount, you understand. Probably it would be better to,
I offered Cordelia I offered for Cordelia to join us in our journey, since we are going that way anyway, to take these ashes there.
I don't see why
great.
not.
Yeah. More the merrier.
Are we stocked?
Yep.
I think Tufo took the whole stock room.
You snitch.
I mean, the shelves are empty. I don't know. I don't think I'm the one who snitched.
Fine. Put back the walnuts.
Oh, I heard a saying about this. Snitches get stitches. So some sort of sewing circle, perhaps?
I like the sound of that.
And Kiro will go to the table where the urn is, wrapped in leather straps for ease of carrying, and put the urn on their body for safety.
Excellent. So I'm gonna probably say that this is pretty early in the morning, as you're about to head out. So you make your way towards the mountains, towards Amore, through the forest. And you have to take it looks like you have to head up and through a tunnel through the mountains to get to the little village that you're looking for. I will say that Cade, um, you have sensed, because you are serving the forest wayfarer, um, you have sensed their absence recently. But as you get closer and closer to Amore, you sort of get the sense that they've wandered further than they usually do, and it's probably somewhere near here. And during your journey, you make your way through the tunnel, and the tunnel opens up through the mountain into this place that is not quite what you expected, because it was supposed to be a tiny little village. And what you see before you is a very vast city, very colorful, beautiful city. And as you step forward, you see that there is a marina. Um, there is a beautiful park on the peninsula. These lovely colored, colorful buildings. Do you continue on your path here?
Is this where Amore was supposed to be? Like,
Yes.
I don't think this is the blip on the map that was described to us.
That's a pretty big blip.
How could this place be considered remote? Do we see any activity, any movement?
The city is like bustling with people. It is, you see in particular where the very colorful buildings are, that it's just like it's got this like really lively presence. The people that are moving around are also very lively and colorful, and there are blossoming flower pots that hang from lampposts, hand-painted signs that decorate the businesses. And it just seems like it's a very busy city.
Maybe the town expanded very quickly.
So, was your former knowledge of this place just from the recently departed person, or is this a newer development?
Oh, well, Marika was a frequent visitor at the temple, and she just wanted, in her will, she wanted her ashes to be brought home to her remaining family in a remote village.
Well, it's possible that when she left, it was a remote village if she's lived in the city for some time. But this is a big change for even one lifetime, one human lifetime.
And I'm assuming that the people here are just, it's just a mix of origins as it like just a, yeah.
Very cosmopolitan
Okay.
city, yeah.
Can I roll a history check on Amore? Like, have I heard of it before?
Sure.
I don't know nothing about no history.
17.
17. Okay. So you have heard about Amore. You heard that I think in particular because of your background, you heard that there was a blue forest here. So it was like blue wood trees that used to grow here. There's no sign of those trees anymore. And I think you also knew that it was a fishing village.
Well, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Nope, you go.
Well, I tell the group this, and I mean, it's very possible they cut down the forest and
Hmm.
maybe there was a particularly profitable season with the fish market.
Hero will hop out into the walkway or wherever they are, wherever there are people, and flag someone down. Excuse me. Excuse me.
You see a middle-aged gnome stop. She's holding like a flower basket, and she says, "Oh, yes, dear.
Hello, hello. Are we in Amore?
Oh, yes, yes. Are you from out of town?"
Yes, absolutely. We were not expecting such a bustling city.
Oh, you must be from somewhere bigger then.
No, we aren't. What? Okay, thank you.
Oh,
I
okay,
would
you're
like to
welcome.
talk to a bird. Are there birds here?
Yes.
If you want the truth, you have to talk to a bird. Except the birds that are filled with lies, but I understand that there aren't as many of those here. Sorry, I forgot how I talk for a moment. Um, uh, I would like to find a bird and cast Speak with Animals. Spend in those spell slots. Spend
All right. You find
Wait,
I
can I
mean,
ritual cast that? Maybe I can. I don't know. It's fine. I'll do it.
okay. You yeah, there are plenty of birds here. You sort of have your choice, anything from a gull to a little chickadee to a crow.
Seagulls are evil. So, true story. I once had a sandwich stolen out of my child hand by a seagull. It was remorseless. Um,
Hey, I'm from Canada, so I did not
you
mention
have the
geese.
geese
I did
too.
not mention them because they are evil incarnate.
Um, okay. I would like to find a non-evil bird.
Okay.
So let's have like a magpie or a robin.
Let's do Robin. Yeah. You see
But
one sort of pecking at the dirt, trying to forage for worms.
excuse me, excuse me, I would like to know what happened to the trees.
Hmm. Um, so when you're speaking with animals, um, you get a general sense, right? Is this I can't remember
I
now.
mean,
'Cause,
I guess it depends on the animal, right?
yeah, because I'm just trying to think like this, a little
I think
bird
if
brain,
they're
a little bird brain is going to be, um, let's see, uh,
I can find the actual I can do this at will. It's an eldritch invocation. Yes.
very nice.
Um I'm so smart. Past me is the smartest. Bees can give you information about nearby locations, including whether they can perceive or whatever they can perceive or have perceived within the last day. Well, that's unfortunate. But I could also ask them to do a favor for me,
Hmm.
but it is limited by their intelligence. So what they
Yeah,
remember or know would be limited by their intelligence. If I
yeah.
find
So
something smarter than a robin, I'll talk to that too. But I figured I would go with what was around.
yeah. Well, let's say a magpie then, because a magpie is more intelligent than a robin, and let's say that the magpie, um, lets out some little warbles, to let you know that, there are plenty of trees here. What are you looking for, a specific tree? Are you looking for the tree that um, the hero lives in?
I'm interested in that tree. Yes, now that you've spoken of it.
Um,
Blue trees as well, maybe?
it shakes
Blue
its
wood?
head.
No, no blue trees. Blue
I've heard
trees are,
the magpie continues to warble, and you understand that there was a time in its history, um, its ancestors talk about the blue forest trees. Um, but to this particular magpie, it is just a myth or a legend. However,
Okay.
it spreads its wing to point you in the direction of the tree that I was talking about. And near the harbor, there is a massive tree, but it looks like it has been repurposed as a house.
Okay. Thank you for your assistance. The spirits of the water, thank you for your service.
Can I do an investigation check? As a Outlander, I have excellent memory for maps and geography and general layout of
Yes.
terrain.
What would you like to investigate?
I'm going to investigate like how, if the city like seems like it just came out of nowhere, or if it's been around for a long time,
Okay.
kind of thing. 17 plus 9, 26.
You look around and it seems like it was a city that grew rather quickly. You have a sense that it could potentially be unnatural. But you can't pinpoint exactly what it is that is unnatural about it. But it is a city that grew really rapidly through the use of some sort of magic. Or yeah, some force.
Relate to the group. Something doesn't seem right about this place.
I, for
Well-
one, would like to find out what happened to the blue trees.
Yes, the magpie said I will basically communicate what the magpie told me that there were within the lifetimes of this magpie's family, but not within the lifetime of this magpie. So it's recent, I'm assuming.
How
I'm
long do
just-
magpies live?
Magpie, how old are you?
It hesitates as the DM looks up how long magpies live for.
Generally it's less than 21 years. I know this because I just Googled it
Oh my gosh.
moments ago. They've been known to live as long as 21 years, but
Oh
it
my
could be
gosh.
less than that. Is this a baby magpie? We don't know.
Yeah. It's the magpie says it sort of says what is age?
On your last birthday, how many candles were on the cake? I understand that's a tradition on this plane.
It shakes its head and says, there have probably been 14 moons, 14 full moons.
14 moons. Okay. This is a young. Okay. Thank you. The water spirit thanks you for your assistance in this matter. It's just over a year old, so it's a young magpie. Wait, 14 full moons. That's not how months work. I forget. Moons aren't my thing. I'm more into the water. But point is, youngish. Full moons, yes, one a month. Yes,
Yeah.
that's how that works. Okay, I doubted myself for a second there. Anyway. Yes, I agree. We should go find out what happened to the trees, and I do think that Tufo is on to something with this strange non-natural tree.
And perhaps we can find some sort of official that can determine where Marika's family is, because we do have to, well, us three are on a mission to return this urn to her family.
Well, I'm happy to help. I'm glad for your company on this journey because I would have been very confused. Not that I'm not still confused, but you know what I mean. It's nice to be confused together, is what I'm saying.
It's a pretty incredible power that you have to be able to speak to a magpie.
Oh, yes. This one was fairly chatty. Sometimes the animals don't want to talk, and that makes it very, very tiresome. Yeah, I also want to say woodpeckers kind of elitist. I'm just saying.
They're pretty annoying up there, especially when I'm trying
Yep.
to sleep in there, up in the trees.
See, very rude. No consideration for their neighbors.
Mhm.
As you're having this conversation, you feel a rumble on the ground.
Oh dear.
How do other people react?
People are just sort of like stopping in the street. And then you see a pack of wolves and a pack of boars running down the street, just tearing through the street. And people are like kind of screaming and dodging out of the way as these wild animals just rampage through this city street.
Are
Is
they
this
coming
normal?
from two different streets, or are they coming together as one
It
big
just
pack?
seems like they're coming from all different streets. It's just like a random collection of wild animals.
I fly up.
I
And
will jump out of the way on a rooftop.
Kira will also try to make a move, but if there's anybody nearby that doesn't look like they're going to make it like away, obviously Kira will stop and will do what they can to help them not get injured.
All right.
Yeah. Especially if there's anyone smaller, because I know what that's like.
All right. So I think what I'm going to do is I am going to get you to all roll for initiative.
I have a quarterstaff of warning, so I get advantage on initiative.
Okay.
Ooh.
Nice.
Fancy.
Don't forget the added proficiency bonus if you're within 10 feet of me, which
Isn't that on saving throws?
It might
no,
be
it's
Oath of the Watcher
yeah.
ability.
Yeah. Aura of the Sentinel.
All right. I will start with Cade. What did you get?
Oh, 14.
And then Kiro,
26.
Tufo,
15.
and Cordelia.
If I get to +5, then it's 14. No, 13. I'm bad at math.
All right, so Kiro, you are definitely first here. What would you like to do as so there are definitely people who are they're either going to get bitten by a wolf or you know, a boar is going to come
Um,
at some of these people.
If are there any children or anything, any younger?
Yeah.
Okay. Kiro, I almost said Tufo. Kiro will run to the younger person who looks like they probably can't protect themselves and assuming that they can't,
Yeah.
and will grab them and start moving towards the closest area of protection, essentially area where they will be safe.
Yeah.
But if they have to, they will use their protective wings to help give more protection to this child.
Nice.
If they still get caught in it, but that's going to be they'll use all of their energy to do that, to grab this person and
Okay.
move them off to the side.
Tufo, what do you do seeing similar situation here with the wolves and the boar and like just general citizens kind of in
I'm
the
going
way?
to use mold earth to pull up like a wall of dirt to block off one of the streets if possible.
Cool. Okay. Then a boar comes along. I think the boar, as it charges towards you, this block of earth sort of comes up and it just like goes headlong into the earth. And you can almost see like stars on its head as it's trying to shake its head and reorient itself. Cade, what do you do?
Kate is going to use all right, I'm gonna go ahead and just expend things. I'm gonna use my Celestial Revelation and giant wings sprout out from behind me. I'm gonna grab, can I grab, my strength is pretty high. Can I grab like 2 kids and fly them out of the way? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that. And I have a flying speed equal to my walking speed. So that is gonna be 30 feet. So I'm just gonna get them out of the way.
Yeah, cool. All right, Cordelia, what do you do?
Okay, I'm gonna do something weird, which shouldn't surprise anybody. I'm going to try and use Thunderclap to kind of spook any that are heading in a direction that is going to impact more people. So I'm going to try and kind of corral them away from most of as many people as I can, really, with a thunderclap. And I can do it because I can fly. I'll do it at such an angle where it's like trying to head them in the least problematic direction possible.
Probably towards the park.
Yeah. Go play at the park.
All right. See, it's that one requires an attack roll, right?
I think so. I mean, I'm not really targeting a creature. No, actually, hang on. I create a burst of thunderous sound that can be heard, oh dear, up to 100 feet away. Each creature within range other than me must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or take 1d6 thunder damage. Is it possible for me to target that so I'm not like...
I think if you had like meta magic or something like that, but that's a sorcerer thing. So I think with your warlock, you would have to sort of angle yourself in a way that gets the least amount of buildings in the way, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not so worried about buildings. It seems like the infrastructure of this town is fine. I mostly want to avoid... Yeah, all of my boons are not helpful to this. But I do have tentacles, so that's going for me. Yeah, I just want to do my best. If I cause harm, then I'll try and fix it later, but
Yep.
The immediate issue is the rampaging animals, so.
Yep. All right, so you're going to cast, what was it, Thunder Wave?
Thunderclap, it's a Constitution saving throw. I'm trying to avoid as many people as possible,
Sure.
if that makes a difference.
Yeah.
I'm trying to use it more like thaumaturgy, but I don't have thaumaturgy, so.
All right, so what I did was I just did a bunch of group saves here. The boar and the wolves in your vicinity didn't save, and then the humanoids did save.
That's good.
Yeah, so you knock over a number, like a handful of the wolves and boar in your area.
Do you want me to roll the damage, or do we not care?
You can roll the damage. Just I'll just see what happens to the creatures here.
6 points.
Okay. So yeah, they're I feel like they're sort of the ones in your area are kind of down at this point.
For what it's
So
worth,
we've got-
my intention is not to take them out, but
No,
that
I
is
don't. I actually did not mean it that way. I just meant like they're down, like they're it seems like
Hit
they've been
points.
knocked over. Yeah.
they're knocked over. Okay, great. That's what I want. Just stop doing what you're doing is basically my...
I think with that as well, the creatures do get startled, and then they turn their way around and then head back towards the park. And so you've successfully removed their presence from the city center, essentially. However, it does seem like they're still, wolves and boars do not belong in a city, so they're still there, but they're heading towards probably a more safer area.
Can I do
So
a
in-
nature check? to see like if it was like a natural thing that made them spook them or what their situation is?
Yeah, absolutely.
And did they seem to come from outside the city that we could
Um,
tell?
the directions were sort of from everywhere.
Everywhere.
Direction.
Okay.
Yeah.
14.
You're not certain, Tufo, but I think because you had that initial high investigation check, you get a sense that whatever that unnatural force is probably related to what happened with these animals. As things sort of settle in the wake of this wild animal rampage, people come over to you thanking you for what you've done. And that gnome that you spoke to earlier just says, "Oh my gosh, what on earth just happened there? It's a good thing we had strangers come in here, adventurers even."
So that's not something that happens normally.
Oh no. We're a pleasant little city. We have I think we're just well known for our teas and our tea house, our houses, and my goodness, I don't I dare say I haven't seen anything like that since since before, well, before the city grew.
What
Can I roll an insight check?
your city is actually extremely large.
Is it?
Yeah, it's pretty
Seven-
big.
17.
Um, so Kate, you get a sense that this gnome is very truthful. She's very surprised by all of what just happened, and doesn't think there's anything unusual about this city.
Can I use my divine sense? So it is, I can detect good and evil until the end of my next turn, but I guess we're not in combat. I can sense anything affected by the Hallow spell or know the location of any celestial fiend undead within 60 feet that is not behind total cover.
Okay. You cast that, and you don't get a sense of. I mean, yourself as a celestial, you get
Yeah.
ping, and maybe the Cody, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Just your party itself.
So, if I was looking for the family members of someone who left the city long ago, is there a organization or a government building that I would go to find them?
Yes, of course. The mayor, Cheery, is in the town hall, the city center, the city hall. Um, who who are you looking for?
And Kira will kind of like pat the urn on their back and say, well, a woman named Mariko was living in the town. How long how many days travel is our town from here? Like how long did it take us to get here?
I'm gonna say that it took you a couple days, and you made it in by mid-afternoon
Okay.
here.
A lady named Mariko from our town, which is a few days from here to the east, passed away, and in her will, she wanted her ashes to be delivered to her family members here in Amore.
Oh my. Well, yes, you could speak with the mayor or one of the clerics at the at City Hall. You, Kiro, know that the last name of Mariko is Hoshino. Would you have said that to her?
Yes.
Okay, so the gnome actually looks at you and says, "That must be a mistake."
No, we have her last will and testament along with the urn.
Yeah, she's in there.
No.
Very kind lady.
No, she's Hoshino, unless she had a sister. Well, you're looking for Hibiki.
Hibiki. Okay. So it
Why
sounds
do you
like
think it
know.
must be a mistake?
Well,
Sorry.
Mariko is just a child.
Did she perhaps have an aunt?
Well,
Is
that must be it. That must be it.
Or what year do you think it is?
When you ask that, she says a year that is in your past.
So that's it. And I think Cordelia looks extremely satisfied now, like the mystery is solved.
Yeah, when you ask her, the year is about, almost 100 years, probably 100 years in the past.
Hero. That's why. That explains it.
Sure, of course. I mean, either way, that does mean that at least we know where to go. Thank you so much for that information. I very much appreciate it.
Yes, well, Hibiki, you can't miss her. She lives in well, that tree there. And she points
the
to
hero
the
tree.
Yeah, the hero tree.
It's not really 100 years ago, was it? Is it, guys?
Yeah, I don't think we should gloss over that. I think we should take a minute and talk about that.
Well, you see, it's both 100 years ago and it's also now. So I hope that clears that up.
So in 100 years, are they
It'll be
gone?
now.
Are they gone in 100
You-
years?
You seem
I mean,
very
Mariko.
knowledgeable about this.
I'm from the
Time-
Feywild. Time is very, for lack of a better term, wibbly wobbly.
Well, you see here, where we are, time is linear, or at least perceived to be linear.
Wow,
So
that's
this is not
weird.
this. That's why I'm sort of like, maybe we talk first.
What can we talk about in terms of the timeline without finding someone who knows more? It is absolutely strange. I think it'll work
But
out though. Like if we
Mariko, Mariko mentioned the trees to you, yes?
Mariko mentioned that she came from the small town of Amore, a
But
remote village.
she's a child now in not a small town.
So why would she describe it as a small town if when she was a kid, it was a big city? Was it
Something
destroyed?
is wrong with the timeline.
Did we time travel?
I hope not.
I go back to the edge of town and hop back out and in, out and in.
Great.
Is anything happening here? Am I changing? Am I older? Am I younger? What's happening?
No.
Are you trying to go back through the tunnel out of town?
Yes.
Have we schmigadooned ourselves?
That's
How long do you want to do that for?
that's going to take a lot of time, Tufo. Well, maybe that's what we have.
We have 100 years, Paris.
In the meantime, Kira's going to find some fruits and sit at, at the entryway to the tunnel and eat while Tufo does his testing.
All right, Tufo, you're just gonna continue down the tunnel.
No, I come back. I'm like, I don't think anything happened. I don't feel older or younger.
Tufa, would a sandwich make you feel better?
Maybe. Maybe I'm just hungry.
Does anything happen when Tufo goes through the tunnel, though?
He went in through the tunnel, and I think he turned back relatively quickly. You didn't make it to the end, right? Or were you going to travel all that way?
Is it like 2 days to get to the end of the tunnel?
No, I would say
Or
though it would probably take at least an hour to get to the end of the tunnel.
oh, I'd probably give up in like a minute. That's too far. Never mind.
Too much work.
Okay. To the giant tree then?
Yes.
Yeah, we can take a break. That was a long walk.
Here, have some fruit.
That's my job, but thanks.
I would like to. Will they take money? I would like to purchase some croissants. I want to see if old-timey pastry tastes the same as new-timey pastry.
Yeah, they will definitely take your currency.
Great. I buy everyone who wants some croissants because we're
Yep.
eating in the past.
I will try anything once.
Yeah,
I'll
there
take
are so many tea houses here, and they all sort of specialize in different types of teas, and each one, some of them have their own little gardens, cultivating their own flora, and they've got lovely croissants from the region, and they taste perfect.
I'm
I do
nibbling
want to
on
keep
some
an
fruit.
eye out for things that are like out of place in terms of plants that look things that look magical rather than native to this plane and or area.
I would say that your probably your best bet would be going to the park that you see there.
Okay,
The flowers in the flower pots look like your standard
sure.
flowers from the region.
I think this is on the way to the tree. This isn't like a separate expedition. I'm just keeping out for any glowing signs that say, I am magical and do not belong here.
All right, so you make your way back, and you see this massive tree, and like I said, it looks like somebody built a house inside the tree.
Beautiful.
Should we go to the house? Knock on the door?
Yeah.
All right.
I will knock on the door.
You hear inside, just a moment, and the door opens, and there is a woman in her 30s standing before you. Kiro, because you knew Mariko in life, you see a resemblance.
Hello. Are you Hibiki Hishino?
Yes. And you are?
My name is Kiro. I'm coming from the temple in the small town that is about 2 days east of here. I have I don't know if you've received word yet. A member of your family, Mariko, was living in our town, and unfortunately, sadly, she recently passed away. In her last will and testament, she asked that her ashes be returned to her family here in Amore.
She doesn't even, when you said Mariko passed, you don't see her, like you get a clear sense that she has stopped listening, and she goes completely pale, and you can see her sort of shaking, and she starts weeping.
I would like to clarify This Mariko was, I'm sorry, what age would you estimate that your friend was at here?
60s or 70s, I'm assuming. If not older.
Much older, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably
She's at least 100.
90.
90. Okay.
Yeah.
Very elderly.
What? And then suddenly she wipes her tears and she says, "Is this some kind of joke?"
It is
No.
not, but I produced the last will. We don't have answers. We're just as confused.
No,
Does this look like your handwriting?
was a baby when her father took her away. I wouldn't know. This has to be some
Who-
kind of joke.
Who's her father and where did he take her?
Who are you again? What? Who sent you? Was it him?
No.
It was Mariko.
As I said, she was a baby when I last saw her.
And how long ago was that?
About 10 years? What is happening?
We're trying to figure that out too.
Well, it seems like Mariko's gonna live a long, happy life. So we'll come back to you.
She just shakes her head and
The-
she's so confused by everything here.
Well, the year here is about 100 years before the year where we came from.
So was this place frozen or did this place, it must have been, right? This place must have been frozen.
She starts closing the door on you. I'm sorry, I do not have time for this.
Wait. I know this is, look, I'm weirded out too. This is weird, right? Like someone comes to your door and says, "Hey, your daughter was 90 years old and died." Weird. Yes, I understand. But I believe there's something going on beyond the scope of what we consider normal. And possibly your daughter is involved somehow. The 10-year-old her might be out there somewhere. Maybe we can get answers if we were to find her presently here and in the process also reunite you with your daughter. Is that something that you would like?
Also, if these are her ashes, you should probably take them.
I gave up hope on ever seeing her again.
Well, she's right here for you.
And also probably still alive as a 10-year-old. Just there's two different timelines. But we want to reunite you with your daughter. And if she's the clue to what is going on, let us help you.
You make
And
a persuasion check.
Cody gives you guidance.
oh, thank you.
With a little click click.
Oh no, I botched.
Oh, no.
I should have helped and I didn't, and I regret it.
This is why I always take halfling, because this happens
Oh,
all the
no.
time to me.
I have the luck feat.
I did not take it. I went with Great Weapon Master. Why?
I should have helped,
Who
and I feel
knows?
that it's okay. It's okay. The dice tell the story.
With that, she closes the door.
Okay,
Hmm.
that's
What would you
that's
like
fair.
what would you like to do next?
I think that went well.
Yeah, wasn't too weird, right?
We should probably find out who Mariko's father was.
Should
Maybe
we
there's
go talk to this mayor person about what is going on also? I feel
Yeah.
there's probably some birth records at City Hall.
that's a good
don't-
idea because we will be able to see the timeline, I think.
Okay, let's go.
So it is after the wolf and boar incident in the mid-afternoon, and then going back to the tunnel, and then coming back and speaking with Hibiki, it's getting to be dusk at this point, and you are making your way towards City Hall when in the distance, at the mountain pass where you just were a few hours ago, you hear another rumble. This time it is like deep in the earth. Something big is moving. And Cade, you recognize that as the forest wayfarer.
Oh, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna turn to my team. We should check that out. And then I'm gonna head towards the rumble.
Follow.
Okay, let's go.
Let's go.
Okay.
You're all racing over to the mountain, and as you race towards the sound, you feel like the earth is moving, like it's like an earthquake almost. As when you look up into the cloudy peak of the mountain, you see like sort of like a celestial twinkling light form, almost like a humanoid form that's made out of stars, as it is shuffling through this cloudy skyscape. And there's like a boom, and you hear the tunnel collapse as this creature sort of like trips and fumbles. And you make your way up into the mountain where the pass is completely closed off at this point.
Is the Wayfarer there?
Way up on the mountaintop. And it
Oh.
seems like it fell for some reason and it's trying to get itself back up.
Can I roll an insight check on like, does it see, did it fall because it was weak or okay. Okay, that's gonna be an 18.
As you're sort of scanning around, you sort of see how, as dusk is falling, a lot of light pollution is coming up from the city. And the way that it like sparkles off of the city, it's sort of adding a lot of brightness into the sky. You have a feeling that maybe the Wayfarer has a way of finding its path, and this light pollution is causing it to lose its way.
This is exactly what happens when you cut down forests to make these things.
The forest spirit falls and causes our route out to be closed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, the reason I was sent here was because the depths believed that things were out of balance here. It seems like almost this place has become hyper hyper timed is what I'm thinking, right? It's growing faster than anywhere else. The
Like,
time is
time is moving faster in the city than it is outside of the
it's like
city.
it's frozen, so all of the progress of the last 100 years is easily enough for a millennia. Because I keep forgetting.
If 100 years is passing in the city, and or if 10 years has passed in the city and 100 years has passed outside of the city, then it's
Yes,
moving
exactly.
slower,
Time is
The
moving
way-
slower, progress is moving faster.
Are we
right?
Is
going to
this-
be young forever?
Yes, that's definitely what you should take from this.
The Wayfarer has been missing in our forest for some time. But it's here 100 years ago in an alternate time.
It does seem to be an alternate timeline. I
It
mean,
could just
that's
be like a big bubble.
yes, a bubble, a timeline bubble.
Do
Can we
you think
stop
I
it?
could? Do you think I could convince the mayor to turn off all the lights and put the city back to the way it was before it was a city? Do you think my chances of success are high?
Yeah, for sure.
Great,
Absolutely.
let's go talk to him.
I think
I
that's a great
think-
idea.
Finding out what has caused the discrepancy might help with leverage. Because if you ask the head of a town whether they want the town to progress slower and slow down and turn off all the lights,
Not just
Probably.
progress slower, but progress backwards.
that is going to go down real well with the electorate, let me tell you.
See?
I think so too.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay.
But if it is dusk, I mean, we can still try, but we may want to find an inn and then pursue speaking with the mayor during business hours.
I'm okay with that.
So you head back into the downtown, I guess, where you were in the district. I guess, do you want to find a spot that's close to the city hall?
Can we find a spot that's particularly like bustling, like seems like a popular spot?
Yeah, the first place that you landed in here, with all the tea houses, that's probably the busiest area in the city.
Before we find a room or anything, I think maybe we can grab a drink and listen to what the other people in town are potentially talking about. See what the vibe is.
Okay, if you want to do that, I might go for a walk though.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go with you.
I'm probably just gonna like spend an hour to maybe sit and people watch and listen in on conversations.
Okay. And what's Cordelia doing?
I want to talk to all the animals and see if they have been like see what concept of time passing they have. Some animals I know don't have a concept of time passing, but some probably do.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to talk to them about what they think that's weird is happening. And I know I probably hear for some rats that there are some other rats who are super rude and they steal all the cheese and everything, but I'm going to do it anyway.
All right. So we've got Cade at a tavern or boba shop. Your choice. Hero and Tufo going for a walk, and Cordelia on the streets on the lookout for some animals.
I'm flying around chatting to all the animals. I will stop by and update Cade whenever I learn something that I think is interesting, which is not necessarily going to be something that Cade finds interesting, but you know, friendship.
I meant I was
Alright.
going with Cade to the boba shop.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, so Cade and Tufo, I want you both to make investigation or perception checks to sort of just check out what the vibe is and hear any rumors.
23.
Oh no. 6.
All right, so Cade, you're trying real hard to listen, but you get really wrapped up in somebody's story about, I don't know, what else is Cade interested in?
I think Kate is not above like just gossip. Like if someone's just having some beef with someone, like that's very entertaining.
Yeah. All right. So you are getting the lowdown on somebody's business. And you're not learning anything about what is going on. Tufo, you are listening and you're able to go from conversation to conversation to conversation. And through all of it, it just seems like it's regular chatter about somebody doesn't like their job. Somebody is really trying to cultivate these flowers. Somebody else is talking about how the boba here is better than the shop over down there. You're just hearing regular conversations, day-to-day conversations.
So she doesn't like her coworker because she thinks she's sleeping with the boss to get ahead. This person's saying we're got the best boba in town. But I don't know anything different or weird going on about the city.
My people, they're really mad at their husband because he just like didn't do some. I don't have like 100% the thing because it's quite loud, but it's the way she speaks is fascinating.
Cool.
Kiro,
Does
how
my does
oh,
my
go ahead.
19 passive perception see anything yet too?
It's you're just seeing regular city people living their lives like nothing is going on. Kira, what are you
Well,
doing on your walk?
Hero is going to take a stroll, kind of like take in the environment, look at the night sky, see whatever like horizon, and when you go to a city, they all have very specific horizons, like shapes. Um, arms clasped behind them, walking like an old person. Um, and eventually Kira will make their way down back to the hero tree. And kind of study the tree and where Mariko spent some of her years, presumably, and where she would have would be now if she had never left and been taken by her dad. And does the tree, there's a house built into it. Does the tree have a yard? Is there a yard around it at all? Or
It seems like what has been created are like planters around the tree's windows. And like if it's a yard, it's sort of like just like a little postcard size like patch of grass sort of around the tree,
Mhm.
with maybe a little wrought iron chair and table.
Okay. Um, are there any, so there, and there are no like specific unique little flowers or particularly cared for plants or anything?
I would say make an investigation check there as well,
Sure.
or perception.
Um, Well, my investigation is -1, but my perception is +4. So
It
Uh,
looked pretty.
yeah,
All
so
of
it
it
goes.
looks pretty.
We'll go 17 for perception for looking around.
All right. Yeah, you sort of see like there is a there's a little there is an unusual flower. I would say you don't think it's magical. You just think you haven't seen a flower like this maybe in a long time. Maybe it's an extinct flower.
Mm. And it's just a singular flower. There's not multiples, just one.
Sort of like an orchid, a bulb.
Oh, I see. Okay, okay, okay. So Hiro will kind of look at the flower and study it and then pulls the urn around. Kind of looks at the urn and looks at the flower, touches the urn to the flower. Seems rude to put to do either of the things that they were thinking about doing.
Are you
We'll
being
and
quiet about this?
yeah,
About
no, yeah,
lurking
just not trying to hide, but definitely not like making a lot of noise. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Kira will kind of look at the urn and tap it. We'll find a way to get you home. And then goes back to the hotel or the inn, not the hotel.
The hotel.
Inn.
I mean, could be a futuristic city. Who knows at this
Yeah,
point?
maybe. Yeah.
Cordelia, I'm going to go over to you for a moment here. And you are speaking with animals, trying to get the scoop from them. And I'm going to get you to also, are you speaking directly to them or are you just listening?
I think listening first, and then if there's any that seem super interested in either me or the conversation they're having, I'll try to engage with it, but I'm listening first.
Okay. Again, if you want to make an investigation or perception check.
Ooh. Okay. Uh, Perception is better. Okay, that's a 21. I rolled
All right.
well.
So, like Tufo, you're having like your your attention is going from one conversation to another to another. You're getting all the animal gossip of the city and the animal word on the street. And to you, it's these animals are just like living their daily animal lives.
Okay, then I do want to start asking the ones that seem more aware of the surroundings. I would like to ask to see if I can get a sense that they think something is weird.
Like a cat, maybe?
Like a cat. Cats know what's up. Unless they don't, in which case they really don't. I do not want to talk to an orange cat.
Fair.
Orange cats very rarely possess the brain cell. This is a statistical fact.
Yes. Yeah, you find a tortoiseshell cat, and it just
Do you think the time in this town is strange?
you get and it nuzzles at your face as you come close to it, and it explains to you that time is a construct.
Great, I've found the genius cat.
Mm-hmm. But it also does believe that there is something up.
And what do you think is the sort where, if you had a feeling of for in the city where the weird things are happening, where would it be?
The cat tells you it does not like the vibe of the mountains.
Does not like the vibe of the mountains. Okay.
It's heard through some magpies about a forest that used to be there. And Yeah, she thinks that there were also she gets a sense that there was magic there at some point.
Magic in the mountains. You have been very helpful. I would like to give you further scritches. I will also have the soot sprites because they're gonna roll around on the cat's back and be kind of helpful.
The cat flops over and bats one of them between her paws.
They love it. They love it. Sooty loves it. I will then fly back over to the boba shop where Cade and Tufo are hanging out, and I will say, great news! This cat told me that there are weird magic things happening in the mountains.
Okay. Well, if City Hall's a dead end, I say we just head up to the mountains.
Oh yes, we should definitely go by City Hall. I still believe that, but it's a good lead especially because your Wayfarer was perhaps then closer to the source of the magic and thus more affected by it. I'm not sure about that, but it seems a reasonable hypothesis.
You should really try the boba though. It's really good.
I would like some boba. I will
All
order
right.
boba.
So you all have your boba, and then do you retire after that?
Yeah.
All right. So you head to your rooms, have a very restful sleep, wake up in the morning, have your breakfast, head out onto the street to head to City Hall first, or do you want to head to the mountains first?
I was assuming City Hall.
Yeah,
But
just because
okay.
it's probably closer. Yeah.
Kiro, as you are out on the street, you see that gnome that you had a few conversations with. They're just walking by with their flowers, and they pass you by.
Oh, good morning.
Oh, good morning. Are you from out of town?
We met yesterday.
Oh no, I would recognize you.
Oh, okay.
There it
You're
is.
visiting? Are you visiting?
Yes, we are visiting from a very large city, about 3 days to the west of here.
Wonderful. And
Yeah.
Does
that's
Kiro
we're gonna
does
leave this for a break.
Can I ask a question first? Does Kiro still have the ashes?
Mhm. Always.
Yes.
Kind of
Okay.
worn like a backpack, like
Okay.
yeah.
And any if I'm gonna say that, if you look in your packs, anything that you used yesterday, it's still there.
Too well.
All
We
right,
are gonna deal with those animals so much better today, though.
I would like to try to persuade the mom again as a point of pride.
Yeah.
We will come back in about 5 minutes to try to resolve some of these things and get you out of whatever situation you found yourselves in.
Cool.
All right. See you in 5. Left off where you discovered that, well, I don't want to spoil it. I mean, I don't want to necessarily say exactly what's going on. So maybe one of the players can say what might be going on.
We discovered that the day that we came here yesterday is also today. And my guess is will also be tomorrow.
We will find out, I guess. So you are in the town of or city of Amore. You've woken up. Kiro, your first hint at what's going on is that there was a gnome that you definitely met yesterday who did not recognize you at all, and you had multiple interactions with this gnome. So you're heading off to City Hall.
On the way there, can I keep an eye out for anyone who might be acting like Bill Murray in Groundhog Day, just like over it and just chaos?
Yeah.
Sure, yes.
And do I remember what time of day those wolves and boars attacked?
Yeah, it was in the middle of the
Middle of the
afternoon.
afternoon. And do we still have like a couple of hours before that happens, or?
Yeah, I imagine that you woke up pretty early.
Yeah, okay.
Whatever time you thought that City Hall was going to be open, is when you head out.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's pretty early in the morning. You're heading out, and the City Hall is actually located in the heart of Amore in this ward. You see the three-story white plaster building there. It's got a gate with a wooden door. And when you enter, there is an administrator sitting at a desk. Can I help you?
Hello.
Yes.
Yes.
Do you have birth records?
Yes, of course. It's the City Hall. Um, whose birth record are you looking for?
And
We're
then I turned to Kiro.
we are
What's
looking for the birth
You go.
record of Mariko Hoshino.
Oh, yes, of course. Are you journalists or something doing a story about our hero?
Kira looks at Tufo.
Yes.
We have an interest in the history of the town. I cannot hear you if you are talking, Kat.
Wonderful. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. If you would like to follow me, and she'll motion you to follow, and you head like into a central courtyard, and then there are like a bunch of passageways that you go into, and other smaller towers, and then you finally find the city archives, and the clerk goes through the files and presents Mariko's birth certificate.
Who is listed as the father?
So the father, his name was Ren, and what else? Yeah, it just lists the father as Ren and the mother as Hibiki, and what other information are you looking for on the birth certificate?
Birth year.
Birth year is historically it would have been about 90-ish years ago.
Earlier, when you asked us who we were, you mentioned journalist, and you also mentioned hero. Does Mariko need saving? Do you know?
Oh no, I mean Hibiki is the hero of Amore.
Oh, what did she do?
Oh, I would have thought that you are looking for an interview so that you have what do you say? Quotes. Yes?
Yes.
Um,
And so what do you like to say about Hiro?
uh Hibiki was the hero of Amore, and she heroically I'm sorry, I've never been interviewed before. She heroically saved Amori from the wild animals that were wandering in the streets, and um, there was a particularly large boar that tore through, and she struck it with an arrow, um, and it fled the city, and that seemed to be the end of it. Is that a good enough quote?
How long ago was this?
It was about 10 years ago. And then we built the hero's house for Hibiki.
Was this before or after Mariko was born?
Oh, it was before. After, sorry. Mariko and her father, well, I don't really want to talk about the past of Hibiki. That's not what you're here for, Red.
We might be able to get a quote from the father. Can you tell us where the father went?
May I, and you can say no, may I cast Charm Person on this clerk?
I would say yes. They will probably not be happy after.
But that's fine tomorrow.
That's true. What you've done is you've given us no consequences for our actions.
I will cast Charm Person on the clerk. It is a wisdom save of 15.
Sum up if you're okay.
I'm sorry?
Just making sure that
Oh.
everybody's okay. Yeah, okay. Okay. Wisdom save was, what was it?
At 15 is the DC.
Okay. They got a 5, so this clerk
If it fails the saving throw, it is charmed by you until the spell ends. It's a duration of an hour, or until you or your companions do anything harmful to it. The charmed creature regards you as a friendly acquaintance. And when the spell ends, so in an hour, it will know that it was charmed.
Yep.
They will know they were charmed. Yes, we are looking for more information because we have information about Mariko that Hibiki must hear, but we need to correlate it with the history of Mariko and her father Ren.
Oh, of course, of course. And she says, well, you see, Hibiki wasn't always the heroic type. She was a bandit of sorts, a poacher. This was years and years ago, of course. Very heroic now. But she was a poacher, and she was with Ren, and they had a baby, and he had a change of heart about their way of life. And so he left with Mariko, and Hibiki stayed.
So are you saying that Hibiki became a hero by accident? Can I quote you on that?
Well, let's not be rude to the interviewee. We will definitely make you sound not congratulatory, but saying positive things only of the hero of Amore.
Yes,
of course.
Very heroic.
Very heroic.
You know, it can even be a little bit of a better story that way. It shows how far the hero came.
Yes.
The hero's journey.
Yes. The redemption
I've
arc,
heard of
as it
such a
were.
thing.
We can keep you anonymous.
Perhaps that's the best. Is that everything you need from my office?
It's everything
The
I need.
archives?
Well, really quickly, what's Hibiki up to now? Like, does she have a job?
She doesn't really. She's sort of early retired, I suppose. She deserves that for saving us.
Yes, of course. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
What would you like to do next?
Leave. leave the building, and once we're out of the building, Kyo's gonna like look at everyone. It's great that she, turned into a hero from a poacher and a bandit. Completely serious.
Do we think it was intentional?
Of course.
Stopping the boar?
Yeah, like, do we, like, I'm not one to judge, but you're you're a bandit of sorts, and I don't know, it just seems like a very sharp turn to be hero of a town.
I mean, it is a sharp turn, but it's not unheard of. Um, I think the stranger thing would be I want to find the connection between this and the magic in the mountains, if I'm honest.
How long would it take to get to the mountain where the Wayfarer was? Is it quite a hike?
It's pretty high up. It would
Okay.
take several hours to get to the peak, but you would be able to do it before dusk when all of that happened.
We probably should go to the mountains. If we can make it before it gets dark, maybe we can help the Wayfarer find its way.
Yes,
Being
I am.
high.
If
Helps.
that's where the magic is coming from, I have no doubt that this connects to the events down here, but I just don't think we have all the pieces yet.
Sure, but if we can act as a sort of lighthouse for the Wayfarer, we can see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
At the least, we can move that big rock that it tripped on or whatever it was.
That's true. Just do a little sweeping.
Or get rid of all the light pollution.
Yeah, I don't know how you're going to do that, but I'm very excited to find out.
I'll find a way.
Just as
I
an
believe you.
aside, the light in the cities, it's all magical light, I'm assuming. Okay.
I mean, I guess mostly, right? There's
Mostly,
probably
yeah,
some,
there's torches, and of course.
All right, so should we go to the mountain?
Let's all go to the mountain.
Right. So you head up towards the mountain. I think at some point during the course of your travel, your hike up, you get that sense of that lower rumbling, and when you look down into the city, you see wolves and boars rampaging through the downtown area. However, today there's definitely more. It seems like there's double the amount.
Are any of them larger than the rest? Like particularly larger?
Make a perception or investigation check.
12.
From this height, you can't really see like size differential. You just know that there's more blips, rampaging through the street.
How far away are we from this?
Oh my gosh.
Like really far away? Would you say
Yeah,
120
because
feet away?
you're way you're up in the mountains now, because you've been traveling for a few hours into the mountains trying to make your way up to the height there.
I look down at the city and go, that can't be good, right?
There's more of them today. Why would there be more?
Because the magic is increasing or diminishing something?
Are they coming from outside the city?
It just
From
looks
this
like from this angle, it just looks like they're coming from like various points in the city, and you're not even sure how they, where exactly. A lot of them are coming from the park that's on the peninsula.
Well, shall we continue?
Yeah, they'll be fine, right? They'll
Yeah.
come back tomorrow.
Yeah.
If we end this magic tonight and the day doesn't reset, we're gonna feel so bad.
So you continue up the mountain, and can everybody let me know what your perception checks are, what your passive perception is?
Passive
14 for Kira.
19.
16.
11.
Oh, to be a paladin.
And Cody
And-
is 17.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Do my Sid sprite? I don't think my Sid sprites see things. They're just real
Probably
cute.
not. Tufo, Cody, and Cordelia, you notice sort of walking amongst the trees here. At first you think it's a stag. But then you see that it has a lot of antlers. It also has bird-like feet. And when it turns its face towards you, it's almost got the face of like a baboon. And in the cold mountain air, you just sort of see this mist of breath come out from its nostril.
Slapping Kira like,
What? Oh, Cade.
Yes.
You dwell in the forest. What is that?
Where?
Everyone points to it. You know that that is the daytime form of the forest wayfarer.
Oh, that's the thing that we saw trip over.
Wait,
I really wish I had freedom of movement because that could solve all of our life problems.
the Wayfarer tripped over that animal?
No. So that is the form it takes in the day.
Very small, comparatively.
Yes.
Can do you talk to it?
Do I like what would Cade know about like approaching the Wayfarer in this form?
I think because you have that connection, you could probably approach without needing to do anything. You specifically. Yeah.
Let me go and see if I can talk to it, and I'll be back. So yeah, I'm gonna go approach.
All right. It sort of like bows its head at you as you approach.
I bow in return.
You speak Celestial, correct?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So it speaks to you in this sort of low voice and says, "Paladin, what brings you to this part of the forest?"
We were given a task to return the ashes of a woman back to her home. I am also curious as to I was also following your aura, and I felt in this direction that your presence was stronger than it was back at home.
Yes. I'm afraid I've been trapped here.
Ask it if it
In
tripped the other day.
do you know what's going on with time here?
Time is a construct. No.
You know, a cat once told me that.
It says time does not function here in a way that it was meant to. It has stopped. It has been corrupted. It is not like time in the Fae, but it is not dissimilar. I believe the magic that was once in this place was paved over by humanoid progress. It has corrupted something here.
The blue forest that was here. How might we restore that?
It sort of looks sad to you when you say that, and looks down and says, there are some things that are done that cannot be undone. However, I believe that there was magic that flowed through here, magic of nature, a good magic that stopped flowing. I believe if you find that source, that well source, somewhere here in this mountain, you may be able to revive the flow of the magic.
I think that Cordelia raises a hand.
They're speaking in Celestial, right?
Yeah, do you speak
Okay.
Celestial?
I don't know. Do I speak Celestial?
As a
I don't know. I speak Primordial, Sylvan, and Common.
yeah, so no, unless Cade is relays anything to you.
I try to be like expressive with my face so they know what, like, this is a good thing they're saying, or this is okay.
Well, no, the reason is because this is exactly what like my patron believes. Like we can't move backward, we have to move forward. Like that's why. But
do you know where the source of this magic being staunched is? Where we might look first?
So it the Wayfarer says I have a sense of where it might be. And starts to walk away and then looks back at you.
And then I turn to my team and I'm like, let's go. Let's follow this thing. As we're walking, I'm gonna give like Tufo like a knowing look and then turn back to the Wayfarer. Do you remember yesterday you tripped?
It tilts its head at you and says, that does not sound like a thing I would do.
Yeah, you're right.
Then we are agreed.
Yes.
That was not me.
Nope.
Some other celestial, I'm sure. Yeah.
Yes.
We didn't laugh, by the way. It looked serious. We were very concerned about this other celestial that tripped.
only Tufo laughed.
The Forest Wayfarer leads you to a it's like a spring. And the spring feeds down into the mountain. And it sort of like nods down towards the mountain, like the stream itself and the spring.
And also on the way there, I would have relayed everything to the rest of the team about what happened and what the Wayfarer said.
And that's when I say, that's exactly what my patron believes. We can't move backward, we have to move forward. It's like it was just happened 10 minutes ago.
Thank you, Wayfarer. We will try our hardest to figure out what exactly is going on. Is there anything else you can enlighten me about before we continue on our journey?
The Forest Wayfarer says something. I sense something has been corrupted here. And then it sort of like points to the water with its horns or antlers and says, the waters here are still uncorrupted, and they may restore health if needed.
Thank you.
And then it
I told the group.
trots away.
Hero takes a handful of water and drinks it.
You feel sort of like very refreshed.
I replaced the water in my water skin with it.
So does Kiro.
All right.
Can I water warlock? I want to fill whatever containers I have water skin. I'm thinking Katara now, who has that like jug that she carries throughout the entire series, so she always has water to bend. I know that's not on my equipment list, but spiritually that's what I'm doing.
Yes. All right. So yeah, you see that the river flows into the mountain and down into the mountain.
Is it going towards the city or opposite way? Sorry.
It seems like it would, yeah, I think like if you were gonna, use your geometry, it would eventually flow into the city.
Okay.
Do you think we should investigate the source or where it ends up?
We are at the source. Is this the spring?
This is the
Oh,
spring.
at the waterfall.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then the Wayfarer said that it, as it coursed down, the implication is that something down there has stopped the flow.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So perhaps on our way down, we follow the water.
Yes.
So as you
I'm
Should
ready
we-
to go.
Should we go sneaky like, or you want me to scout ahead?
I cannot be sneaky.
If you want to scout ahead, Tufo, but I think we can
Yeah. No, I'll go a little ways ahead. Cody, a little help, please. And then he gives us pass without trace. So I'll be 30 feet ahead of you, and he'll be like in the middle between us. So you all still get the +10 stealth checks.
Oh, okay.
So you're kind of like 60 feet
Yay.
ahead of us, and Cody's in the middle.
Duration, each creature you choose within 30 feet of you, the Cody.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I'll be 30 feet in front of him, 30 feet. You guys are 30 feet behind, so about 60 feet.
So you head down. The river eventually goes into a passageway into the mountain. Do all of you have dark vision?
I don't think I do.
I do.
I do.
Well, aren't you all just very impressive?
I have the light cantrip, but I don't know if we're trying to be sneaky, that might not be the move.
I'm like 99% sure I do not have dark vision. Although that is an eldritch invocation I could have taken and did not. So,
If you do, it's under your passive stats, your passive perception, investigation, insight.
Yeah, that's a big nope from me.
I don't
But
have
I
it.
can fly in the dark.
I don't have it, but Cody does. He can see
Okay.
30 feet in front of me.
Okay.
And
Oh, yeah,
since
can my
since he's
sis-
my familiar,
Yep,
he can
and
tell me
you
what's
can
going
probably
on.
do that with the little sprites too.
Yes, I like the idea of them leading me.
Yeah, that's amazing. All right, so you head down into the mountain, and after some time, um, at the end of the passage, you see a very large cavern, and there's a natural basin that curves down to the center of the room. I think, um, probably Cade and Tufo in particular know that this is where, well water would have ended up, but it's completely depleted at this point. Um, it's surrounded by short pillars of petrified wood.
Does the petrified wood look familiar? Like what type? Is it like the blue wood?
Would you like to make an investigation check?
Sure.
Can I help?
Yeah, if you help, you can give advantage, Cade.
I'll do my own nature check or investigation check.
Yep.
That's gonna be a 18.
10. I do have passive 24 investigation.
But you looked and you just didn't look very well. That's the problem.
Cade,
I mean,
that
I have a negative intelligence modifier. Don't feel bad.
Cade, when you sort of take a closer look at the pillars, they are humanoid in shape.
Oh no. These
And
might be people.
and as you're looking, actually, you notice that there is a creature that is resting behind some of the pillars.
Can I do my if I can find it, the divine sense
Yeah.
on the creature? So I can detect if it's good or evil, or if it's celestial, fiend, undead within 60 feet. And if it's affected by the Hallow spell.
It is not celestial, fiend. Yeah, it's none of those.
Do we know what it looks like?
You can sort of see like greenish, prickly fur that could be mistaken for quills, on a very large form. What do you want to do?
It's sleeping, right?
Mm-hmm.
We still have passive without trace. We want to sneak around it.
So the wood might be people, and there is a creature that looks like a greenish
Medusa?
porcupine. Do we think it's an actual animal? Do we?
Cade, with your check, you probably know that it is. If it's not an animal, it is animal-like.
Is it evil? With a detect good and evil?
You did not get a sense that it was evil.
It's animal-like, and it's probably a fair, whatever it's doing, it's not with ill intent. I'd assume, possibly.
Y'all,
Uh,
I could cast Speak with Animals.
I think we should speak to it.
If it looks at us, are we going to become stone? That's a concern that I have.
That's also a concern that I have.
Maybe we should not look at it while we speak to it. Cover your eyes.
Do you have to look at it to cast? No, you don't, because you're
I
casting
don't
on
think
your-
so.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't think I have to be able to look at it. Do I?
Oh wait, no, you have. Is it? You have to see the creature? A creature that you can see?
No, it doesn't say. It says you communicate with beasts. It just says communicate with beasts.
Yeah, because I think you're casting it on yourself, right? You're not casting it on
Yeah,
the
it's a
creature?
cat.
Okay.
It's the range itself, so it's affecting me.
You know what I'm going to say here? Before you do that, I want you to make a like a nature check.
Oh, that's when the DM says that's a bad idea. Okay,
Somebody
that's
could assist.
not stellar.
Can I
Uh,
assist?
I do have luck. I haven't used any luck yet, so I can also do that if necessary. Oh, it was better, but I'm gonna use a luck anyway. Okay.
Before you use luck, I'm gonna say good, do well, and then that's with guidance.
Okay, I'll add a D4. I'll take it. 17, which is probably as good as it's gonna get. I'm gonna be frank.
Pretty good.
Pretty good. So you are, Kate is describing what she sees, and then you sort of lean in and see that to you it's much clearer that this is not a beast. It is probably made out of an element at this point.
Would you say it speaks primordial, which is encompasses all of the primordial languages like Aquan, Ignan, Terran, I think is the earth one, which is a language that I also speak. So great times for everyone.
I'm trying to hide behind one of the pillars in case it does something and draw my bow out. Just
Yep.
If things pop off.
I'll face away from it and watch Cordelia.
Excuse me, elemental creature, I say in primordial.
You hear a big snort, and this creature suddenly stirs, and as it stirs, a bunch of dust comes up, and there's like a cloud of dust. And as it rights itself, you see this huge boar-like creature with it's almost like a mohawk of green quills down its back. And it snorts, and all that dust comes up at you.
I understand that you may be super angry about all of the expansion, the things that the people are doing in the city. How are you? How are your feelings?
It snorts again, paws at the dirt, and I need you all to roll for initiative.
I just want to be friends.
If you're within 10 feet of me, add your thing.
All right, Cordelia, what did you get?
And 19.
Tufo?
How much do we add? Just our proficiency?
Yeah, additionally.
Okay.
Oh, I did wrong. Sorry, that's 17 then. Math is bad.
21 for me.
Cade?
18. Did you hear?
What are we waiting for? Waiting for Kate, or are we
You're-
waiting for me?
You.
Oh,
for your initiative, yeah.
23.
No worries. All right. Hero, you go first. You see
So
that
I'm
the boar is like sort of like making a move, and it looks like it's going to charge at Cordelia.
Okay. I am going to jump down. I'm assuming I'm envisioning we're kind of at an upper level, and then it's kind of down because and the water's going. I guess I don't. Anyway, I'm gonna jump in front of it. And I'm gonna punch it.
Okay.
Okay.
That's. Hold on one second. I'm just gonna punch it with an unarmed strike. that misses it with a 9. I mean, that would hit nothing. But I have another attack. I have an extra attack. Rolled a 16 plus 6, so 21.
That hits.
I'm gonna also do stunning strike. That's 5 damage, and stunning strike is
Strength, I think, right?
where is it? Hold on.
Or is it Dex? I'm sorry. It's been a while since I
I
played
think
a
it's
monk.
Constitution.
Oh, I'm just completely wrong.
Stunning strike is a DC 15 con save.
All right.
I miss being a monk. Being a monk is a good time.
That is a 17.
Dang. Okay. And then I will Flurry of Blows as my bonus action. There's stuff I'm doing, I promise. So with Flurry of Blows, I guess 2 more unarmed attacks. Yes, 2 more unarmed attacks. 25 to hit.
Yep.
For, let me make sure I'm rolling the correct one. Okay, I am. 8 damage, and I will try to stunning strike again.
Okay. That time it only got a 13.
Okay, so with stunning strike, is it here? I'm trying to find it in a better place than the place that I originally found it. Oh, there it is. Good. It is in a better place. When you hit with a melee weapon attack, you can spend 1 key point to make the target stunned until the end of your next turn if it fails a con saving throw DC 15. So it's essentially it's stunned until until the end of my next turn. So it's incapacitated, can't move, can only speak falteringly, automatically fails strength and dex saving throws, and attacks against it have advantage.
All right. So you have this stunned creature.
And I do have 1 more attack with the unarmed, with the Flurry of Blows. And I'm going to hit it, but I'm going to hit it with a Hand of Healing.
Love this. I love this.
Another 25 to hit, and to D6 plus 4, and it heals 6 hit points with my final attack.
It's great. I love that.
All right. So you have a stunned. You did notice that when you were punching it, you weren't really doing, like, it didn't seem like it was staggering in any way, but that it was just that one that you got with the stunning blow that really got it. Otherwise, it just seemed like your fists were not bothering it in a way. Next is Tufo.
Since I saw you heal it, I'm going to assume we're trying to reason with it. So I'm going to use mold earth to make difficult terrain in front of it. And then I'll hold my action or end my turn.
The boar is stunned. It goes next. It's not really able to do very much. So you just sort of, I think Cordelia, you will hear it say, "What are you doing?"
Can I respond?
Yeah.
We want to help you. We want to make things right.
I think I'm going to hold that thought for a moment while we go over to Cade. What do you want to do, seeing all of this?
I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna cast Moonbeam on it. And mostly just to see if the shape changer thing does anything more than the wanting to do the damage, but
Okay.
I'll go ahead and do that. Okay. Oh, the save is a Constitution saving throw. 15.
Ooh, it rolled a 17 plus 4, so it saves.
Okay, so it'll only take 6 damage.
All right, so with that, you hear it like make that sort of squealing pig sound, because that actually has hurt it. And Cordelia, you're hearing it, being very confused at this point because
Yeah, I just told we wanted to help it, and then it got moonbeamed. I understand that confusion.
I just wanted to see if it was a shape changer. I'm really sorry.
I
It's not.
can't heal it, and I suspect I'm gonna be rolling charisma with disadvantage now.
I might have really quickly. Do I have any?
You have lay
Bonus
on hands,
action.
but I imagine you can't do that as a bonus action.
Yeah, I think that's an action, not a bonus action. I yelled like, sorry, I was trying something. I don't, and then yeah.
My paladin friend is a little overzealous. We can heal you in about 6 seconds, give or take. I don't have like a potion or anything on me, right? Actually, I had a common item, so I do get a potion, right? Can I just force feed this thing a potion as my action to try and gain some goodwill?
We're here to help.
I'm really sorry.
Yeah, just douse the creature with a healing potion. Further confusing it. However,
I swear we are here to help. Don't mind my paladin friend. My paladin friend is just really excited about the fun spells that are accessible.
since you were all like pretty much in melee range here, I want you all to actually just let me know what your passive is, passive perception is again.
16, I think.
19.
14 for Kiro.
11.
Okay, Tufo, I'm gonna say that you notice that there is an arrow, an old arrow stuck in the back of this boar, and it reminds you of the fact that that interview that you conducted, there was a boar that had been hit with an arrow, and it just looks like it's like I don't know, like petrified into its back, like it's part of it now.
I look down at my arrow, make sure I didn't shoot my bow on accident. Like, oh, that's not mine. Okay. I like, yell to the group. There's an arrow stuck in him.
Hero, it is now back up to you. Unless Cordelia, was there anything else that you could do?
Cordelia is going to suggest that maybe we take the arrow out, but is in no way qualified to do that. So we'll leave it to smarter and more competent people.
That'd be a sleight of hand.
Like if you want to do a strength, just to pull it straight out, or
Okay.
I'm open to how you want to play this out.
Where there is an injury, there is a Kiro. That's not really what I wanted to say, but it's fine. So Kiro acknowledges Tufo's observation and just tell me what I need to do. I would like to jump onto the board where the arrow is, and I want to kind of like hit it, but hit it with my physician's touch. So which is a hand of healing. And when I use hand of healing on a creature, you can also end one disease or one of the following conditions affecting the creature: blinded, deafened, paralyzed, poisoned, or stunned. And if it, I guess I would choose just the disease, just in this instance.
We're here to help.
Yeah. So I'd like to make an attack, but it is for a hand of healing with physician's touch on it. Okay.
Just roll your attack, and then we're going to say that you're not actually you're focusing your attack on the arrow and healing at the same time.
I rolled a natural 20. Yeah. So for 26 total to hit.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
I was yeah.
I would like you to describe how you yank out this like corrupted arrow from this creature's back, as you also heal it.
So having received that information from Tufo, Kiro deftly jumps on top, spies the arrow, scurries over because as monks just move so fast, grabs the arrow as close to the base as possible, and kind of it's kind of gross, but uses their physician's touch and healing hand to slide along the arrow shaft into the bore. And as they remove this corrupted arrow, release a part of their own life force energy into the wound to heal it and remove the disease.
All right. With that, you hear just like this huge sigh of like relief coming out of the boar. It is still, sort of covered in those green quills, but all of you can sense that it is now relaxed its posture. It is no longer it no longer holds that like rage towards all of you. And it just sort of snorts and looks over at all of you, and to Cordelia it says, "Thank you."
You're welcome. So maybe the whole rampaging the town thing could not happen, is my thought.
It just sort of snorts again and says, "Not all of this was my doing."
Did the arrow perhaps come from someone who has since been hailed as a hero in the town?
Nods.
What was her intent?
As all humanoids in the town, they intended to rid us of our home. And they did so, did they not?
They did. Does he still look hurt in any way? Like, is there like some residual?
I was going to say, while this conversation is happening, Kira's going to take some of the water from the spring and rinse the wound a little bit with that water. I don't know if it
That
makes any
magical
difference.
water sort of like seals up the wound, and you're seeing that the green is sort of fading from its like quills, and its fur is starting to look more like fur, less like stone.
I'm gonna lay on hands and just heal it up until it's all good. And also, if there are any poisons, it neutralizes it.
Yeah. You can sort of continue doing this for a little bit. I think what you realize though is like this place has been cursed by this time spell. It will take time for the city and the time spell to heal. So as you're healing it, but it's not progressing the way that you want it to. But as you continue, like if you continue to stay here and the days reset, they start slowly not resetting. And you start seeing like the same situations are no longer happening in town. People are remembering having conversations with you in the street or at the boba shop, or the animals, say hello to Cordelia. And slowly, this city now of Amore is healing, and you you know at some point you are going to be able to leave this area, and you know, Cade, that the Wayfarer has also made its way out of this sort of time bubble.
So we don't have to kill this old lady.
Yeah, like, do we have to confront her?
What
I
would you
think
like to
Kiro
do?
definitely would, in order
Yeah.
to deliver these ashes and let Hibiki come to terms with her actions.
Yeah. What do you say to Hibiki?
Assuming that she's of her, that she remembers. Kiro will say, everyone is capable of making new decisions. And I know that perhaps in this life that didn't happen for you, but know that your daughter loved you and she wanted to be returned to you and into your arms. So moving forward, perhaps consider your daughter and her she was so warm when she came to the temple. She was kind. She respected life. And she lived a beautiful life. So know that and think of your daughter as you move through your days.
Hibiki, I think because you probably had a number of interactions with her over the course of the few days when the curse is sort of unfolding, she recalls you and the things that you've done for the city, and she wipes tears from her eyes and says, the past doesn't define us. I know that I've done terrible things, and had I known that animal was suffering, I would not ever have dreamed of allowing it to suffer for so long. So I thank you all. I thank you for being the heroes here. Would you do me the honor of spreading her ashes in the bay here that she so loved to look at?
Hero will outstretch the urn to Cade.
I'll take it and nod.
When she's going to just usher you over to the the marina and the pier, and I think at this point it's sort of like dusk is falling, and she takes the ashes and slowly puts them out into the sea, into the basin, and then she closes the urn and says, I have so much to make up for, and I will follow in the footsteps of my daughter. It is such a strange thing to think of, but I thank you for bringing her back home and back into my heart. And that is the end of the City of Lost Time.
Yay!
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Such a wonderful story.
Thank you, Kat.
Yeah. We're going to end the session here tonight by going around the table and reintroducing everybody. Please tell me who you are, where we can find you, and what your favorite part of the episode was. And we will start off with Brian.
I'm Brian. You can find me on X as at Clonus13. There's a link tree there to my Instagram and Blue Sky. I was Tufo this session. I think my favorite part was uh, that speech that Carrie gave us as Kiro. That was awesome.
Thank you, thank you. We'll pass it on over to Jasmine.
Hi, I'm Jasmine, and you can find me on most socials and Twitch as FlaxerJ and on Twitter as LJasmine above. You can also find me Monday. It's being released a new podcast with Beacon and Critical Role. It's called The Reslayer's Take. It's out wherever you find podcasts. I'm really excited about it. And my favorite part was I think talking to the Wayfarer. I think that was really, really cool. Yeah.
Thank you. We'll pass it on over to Carrie.
Hello, I'm Carrie, also known as Miscellanea on all the socials. I played Kiro tonight. My favorite part of tonight, honestly, was, and I know it wasn't very big, but the montage of travel into the city of Amore. It's just, it kind of manifested the visions of like that side-scrolling hiking like Ghibli traveling montage, and I just love thinking of all of these wonderful characters traveling through the world like that.
Thank you. We'll pass it on over to Jilly.
Hi, I'm Jilly. You can find me at Oh Look It's Jilly most places on the internet. Tomorrow you can find me on Nerds with Dice in the evening. I think it's 5 p.m. Pacific. We will be playing Crucible of Ether, which is a new game. So I'm excited to learn about it along with y'all. In 2 weeks, we will also be picking up our Masks campaign with season 2. I'm on trial. I'm a reformed villain, and I'm on trial for the murder of someone I legitimately did not murder. So that's exciting for me. And further details to be found on my Twitter, because that's where I usually post about things. I was your friendly neighborhood fairy warlock today. And my favorite thing, I just really enjoy, no matter how together any individual character is in a group, when we go into combat, it just becomes like everybody becomes a chaos goblin. And I just love that. Like, it brings me so much joy. It doesn't matter how together you think your character is. Like, we're punching and we're healing with punches and we're moonbeaming and we're healing and I'm shoving a bottle of potion down the throat. Like, we have, it's great. It's great time. And that is why I love TTRPGs.
I was looking forward to Kat being like, roll an attack roll on that arrow to punch it, knock it out.
Thank you very, very much. We will pass it on over to our lovely dungeon master, Kat.
Hi, I am Kat Kruger. I'm a freelance narrative game designer and author. I wrote How to Be More D&D, a licensed self-help kind of book, and I also I write for board games, and you can find my links at Steampunk Unicorn Studio. I also stream using the same handle, Steampunk Unicorn Studio, because that's my company. My favorite part of the session was the expressions on all of your faces when you realized it was Groundhog Day, because it was priceless. I want that screenshot. You were all just such a delight. I really enjoyed playing with all of you.
Well, it was absolutely wonderful to have you. And thank you again to all of our lovely table mates here for an awesome show. And thank you again to our sponsors, Frivolous Bear Studios and Hero Forge, for making this possible. We will be back next week for our next AAPI month GM series game. It is going to be City of Mist, hosted by Kai, and that will start at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Hope you can join us then. But until then, we'll see you later. Bye, everybody.
Thank you, Stella.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.